Can you able to see? Hello?
No, sir.
Yes, can you able to
Yes,
see
sir.
the PPT? Yes. So today I'm going to start the unit 1. So that is what the introduction for the analysis and design of algorithm. First we have to see the definitions for the algorithm. So algorithm, already you know the definitions. You might have defined algorithm is nothing but the step by step process, but here we'll define a bit differently. So an algorithm is a sequence of unambiguous instructions for solving the given problem. So that is what the unambiguous is nothing but there is no litigations. So that means more. So you have to write the steps correctly. So there is no indirect way of solving the equations. For example, if I write x is equal to y plus z, y and z values to be defined first itself. Suppose if I write z is equal to 20 and if I write x is equal to y plus z, so what is the y value? So that is what you have to write the sequence of unambiguous instructions. So every values, everything you have to write it properly. So that is what the and algorithm is nothing but a sequence of unambiguous instructions for solving a given problems. So that is nothing but for obtaining the required output for any legitimate input in a finite amount of time. So here is legitimate. So the legitimate is nothing but, so you have to, for any type of given input values, you have to get the correct output. So finite set of amount of time. So if you are giving invalid output also, it should show the message saying that invalid output. So it a given amount of time. So time also is important. Suppose if I am giving sometimes today morning, if I give the values, if I get the output after 1 hour, so it is bit difficult. For example, if you want to take the amount from the ATM center, suppose whenever you are entering any wrong pin also, you should get the message immediately. That is what the finite set of the time. So an algorithm is nothing but a sequence of unambiguous instructions for solving a given problem. That is nothing but for obtaining required output for any legitimate input in a finite set amount of time. So that is what the algorithms. So previously you might have learned algorithm is nothing but the step-by-step process. Now you don't write like that. So you write an algorithm is nothing but a sequence of unambiguous steps for solving the given problems. So that is nothing but whenever you are giving any input values, you have to get the with a specific time. So you need to follow some of the examples, some of the rules and regulations for the given below. So the first one is nothing but the non-ambiguity requirement for each step of an algorithm cannot be compromised. The algorithm, the non-ambiguity requirement for each step an algorithm cannot be compromised. So that is nothing but ambiguity requirement for each step an algorithm cannot be compromised. So you have to write it properly. You cannot get compromise for that. So everything, whenever you are writing step by step process, so one step you are writing. So for example, if you are preparing for the examination, means first unit, second unit, third unit, fourth, fifth, so everything whatever the requirement for the video, you have to follow that one, then only you will get the passing marks. Here also same thing, whenever you are writing, because system is solving your problems, so ambiguity requirement you have to write it properly, so cannot be compromised. So if you write it undefined or something else differently, so that you will not be getting in a required time correct output. So that is what the you have to write it properly. So next one is the range of input for which an algorithm works has to be specified carefully. So what type of input to be given for the particular problems, you need to mention carefully. For example, date of birth. So you have to mention either DD, MM, YYYY, or YY. Somebody will enter first month, MM, next DD, next YYY. So which order you need, you have to mention correctly, carefully how to mention it. So not only that, so for example, password sometimes some cases you'll be entering one letter, capital letter, one specific letter, one or numeric, or one should be uppercase or one should be lowercase, whatever you want. You can mention the input values carefully. So next one is the same algorithm can be represented in the several different ways. That's what we had discussed yesterday also. Yes.
So we
Yeah,
are not
tell
able
me.
to see the PPT.
You are not able to? You are not able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
One second, I'll share it once again.
Yes, sir, we are not
Yes,
able to
yes,
see.
yes, yes. One second. Can you able to see? Hello?
Yes, sir. No visible.
Anyone can respond? Yeah. Shall I make it slideshow now?
Yes, sir. No, we can.
So afterwards, also you have to say that. So you have to stop me if it is not visible. Now? Hello?
Sir, we can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it visible? So algorithm is visible? Yes. Shall I start now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, sir.
Hello? Yeah, algorithm PPT is visible now.
Yes, sir.
One should respond. Yes, I'll go ahead now. So algorithm definitions already I have told you. So algorithm is a sequence of unambiguous instructions for solving your problems. That is nothing but for obtaining the required output for any legitimate input in a finite amount of time. That's what already I told you the definition. The following instructions to be followed when you are writing an algorithm. The first one is nothing but the non-ambiguity requirement for each step of an algorithm cannot be compromised. Second one is the range of input you need to mention it, specify it, which type of data, which type of input to be given for the particular problem. Next one is the algorithm can be represented in several different ways. So when you are writing the algorithm for any particular problems is your wish. So based on the input and output, you need to mention it. Several ways is nothing but, for example, if I want to give the information, for example, I'm having internal marks. For example, if you take register serial number, register number, name. For example, if you take this semester MCA 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. 8 subject marks we have entered it. But suppose one teacher is taking, for example, if you take my subject ADA 33, 18 MCA 33, 18 MCA 36 marks I want to display it. So for that, if you want, if I'm asking you to write a program, so which one you will be taking to solve that particular one? So I want enter the data, and to enter data you have to display it. For my query is nothing but I want to display the register numbers and 33 subject marks and 38 subject marks. So my laboratory, my theory marks only I want to display. So can you tell me which language is comfortable to write the program this? Anyone? No problem. Right or wrong doesn't matter. You tell me. I'll tell you the.
C++.
Which one? Which one you like to implement it? C or C++ or Java or DBMS? Anything else? Anyone can say. Right or wrong, no problem. The problem is I want to create the database. I want to enter serial number, register number, name, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, all subject marks I want to enter it. So after entering, I want to filter it. I want to take only 2 names, 2 subject marks. I want to enter it. In that case, which one you will be like to take the programming? Which one? It should be interactive, yeah. Should be interactive. Hello.
Hello, sir. Java is the best.
Java. Anybody else? Anybody else? Nobody is opting DBMS? Yeah.
So we can use
Anybody
data
else?
structure using C++ or Java, and also DBMS also.
Yes. Yeah. So which one will take less time now? Either Java or data structures or C or whatever it may be.
Java.
Java. DBMS? Because still this semester you are doing, no? So you have not yet entered it. So you can create the database and write the structure query for that. That is one option. Instead of all these things, I can go for the one more language is called Unix. Also, it is easy. AWK programming you have learned it, no? So text file, if you enter it, I can write the field, which field I want. So that is easy. Within 2 minutes, you can write the programming. This is what sometimes they've asked the Viva questions. So especially sharing AWK programming scripting, within 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes, you can be able to. You can able to solve it. Suppose if you take C programming, it will take half day to solve this. If you are taking Java, also same thing. If you take Python also, it will take some time. Python also, okay, easy one. I'm not saying, but you have to create back end, that is called the database. You have to write the queries, all these things, it will take time. But AWK is nothing but what? You create the text file there, you can retrieve the data. That's what the same algorithm can be represented in several different ways. So if you are taking DBMS, the different way you will be writing the algorithm. So that means what? You need to create the database. You need to write the queries. So accordingly, that one you will write it. Suppose if you take Unix, AWK scripting. So there you will be writing, creating the file name, you entering the data, then you write the queries. That's it. As a filtering field, which field you want to display. So that is what the algorithm can be represented in several different ways. So next one is, there may exist several algorithms for solving the same problem. Next. This algorithm already you have learned it. So I'll make it the small one. So here is, for example, GCD of 2 numbers. GCD of 2 numbers. So how to find out GCD of 2 numbers? How to find out the GCD of 2 numbers? Anybody? GCD of 2 numbers. GCD of 2 numbers. Can you say anyone? Right. So 2 to 3 ways you can write it. C programming, you might have written while m is not equal to n. If m is greater than n, m is equal to m minus n, else n is equal to n minus m. So within the while loop, that is one method. Another one is called the Euclidean's mathematical formula. You can use it. So 2 to 3 ways. That means that is what the one example will be taken, how you will be solving. Then we'll enter into the next problems. For example, here is Euclidean's algorithms I will take now. So Euclidean's algorithms is nothing but finding the greatest common divisor. So Euclidean's algorithm for computing GCD of 2 numbers, that is called m and n. 2 numbers we have taken, called one number is called m, another number is called n. Step 1, if n is equal to 0, return the value of m. So here is 2 values are there. You will be writing, first you have to write the GCD of m comma n. So that is called the functions. Step 1, I will write it. If n is equal to 0, return m. That is what the step number 1 says. Even you can write it in one paper also. So I'll function GCD of m comma n. If n is equal to 0, return m. That is what the first step as the answer. And stop. Otherwise, proceed the step number 2. So when you are writing the that condition is false, it will go to the second step. So divide m by n and assign the value of remainder to r. So divide m by n and assign the value of the remainder to r. Remainder to r values. So that is nothing but the m mod n. You have to write it. R is equal to m by n. So m by n is nothing but mod n. So mod n remainder values you have to write it. Next is assign the value of n to m and the given value r to n. So next is you have to assign the values. So r to n. So that is nothing but n value is equal to r. R is equal to m mod n. Next is alternatively we can express the same algorithm in the pseudocode. So these are the steps you need to write it. For this, if you see this algorithm, how to write it, and the code is nothing but I'll write it int GCD of m comma n. First step says if n is greater than 0, return m. Next step is else. I'll be writing here is r is equal to m mod n. Remainder will be taken. Next statement is nothing but you will be writing n is equal to r value. Next call GCD of n comma m. So n will be copied to m will be copied to n. Again repeat the process till you get the remainder value 0. Then you will be getting the n is the required answer. Now I'll show you one example how it will be working here. You can see it here. So let us come for the example, the manually how you will be writing the prime numbers. What is it called? GCD of 2 numbers. So return the fractions. That is called the 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. So 2 into 2 4, 4 into 3 12, 12, 12 5s are 60. Now 24 also can be written the fractions 2 into 2 into 2 into 8. 2 cubed is nothing but 8. 8 into 3 is 24. Now the common factors you have to take it here. So 2 and 2 you have taken 1 2 here. 2 and 2 is there, you have taken 1. So here 1 2 is extra, but here there is no 2. So common factors only you are taking. Next 3 common factors you have taken. That is called the 2 into 2 into 3. That is equal to 12. So this is what they manually, if you are solving like primary school, whatever we have learned, this is the way of writing the GCD of 2 numbers. GCD of 2 numbers. Now let us go for the programming. Now already I have to normally. So without looping state, without recursion also we can write it. With recursion also we can write it. So GCD of m comma n by Euclidean theorem. While we have taken n is equal to 0, not according to the based on the previous algorithm. Other one is this one program. While n is equal to 0, do so. Sorry, actually is not equal to 0. I have written wrong. So I'll change it and I'll send it to the PPT. N is not equal to 0, do. So R is equal to m mod n. That's what the remainder I have told you. M is equal to m mod n. Now what you have to do is n value change to m. That is m is equal to n. Return m is nothing but finally once you get the n value is 0, then return the m values. Now I'll show you that example also how it will be working here. So now for example, if you see here problems, find the GCD of m comma n. The greatest common divisor of two non-negative, not both 0 integers m comma n. So just listen carefully. So GCD of 60 comma 24 is already we have calculated, that is called the 20. For example, GCD of 60 comma 0, if you take that value is called 60. Suppose if you write GCD of 0 comma 0, what is the value? That is what the question mark. Now Euclidean theorems. algorithms is based on the represent applications of the equality GCD of m comma n. Another form that is equal to, this is what the formula you are using to calculate the GCD of two numbers, GCD of n and m mod n. This is what, whenever you are using the recursively, you are calculating the values. So we have written r is equal to m mod n. So once it is calculated this you are calling the functions until the second number becomes 0. So once this big value becomes 0, then these values will be taken called the GCD of the two numbers. So which makes the problem is trivial. For example, if you take this one 60 comma 24. So 60 comma 24 is nothing but what will happen is, what is the 60 more 24? Can you say anyone? 6 more 24. Sunil.
Yes, sir.
Shruti. Spurti.
Yes, sir.
Hello. 6 more 24.
So the
how much?
answer is 12.
Sunil.
12, sir.
6 more 24. Just you tell me the answer. 6 more 24.
12.
6 more 24 is the, what is the output result?
So 0.
Huh? Sixty more 24. What is the answer? Sunil. Spurti. Reminder, I am not asking big questions, sir. Just reminder.
12 only, sir. 12. 12.
24 2, sir. Sunil. That means what? 24 into 2, 48. 24 2s are 48. And the remainder will be 12. That's it. Just I am asking the remainder. So now what we have, the algorithm says is nothing but you have to interchange the values. So now GCD of to 60 and 24 is nothing but m and n. M is equal to 60, n is equal to 24. Now when you are calling this function, what will happen? GCD of n comma m mod n. That's what we have written the formula here. Just to see here. So r is equal to n mod n. So where are the two equations? 1 second, I'll show you. R is equal, remainder is written here. So now what will happen is, so 24 you have written, the remainder value you have written it here. Now 24 12 is how much? 24 more 12. So what is the remainder? 24 more 12? 0. Correct? Now 12 2s are 24, the remainder will become 0. So now n value is 0. Now you have to return the m value. That is what the algorithm says now here. See here, step 1, n is equal to 0, you return m values. So now in this case what happened is n value is 0, return m. That's what this step. If this is false, now it will come to the first step. That is what the way of working. See here, if n is equal to 0, return m as the answer. So otherwise, and stop, otherwise proceed the numbers 2. So step number 2 is nothing but what? Divide m by n. M by n is nothing but m mod n. So assign the value remainder to the r. So r is equal to m mod n, you have to write it. That is nothing but the assign the value of n to m and the value of r to n. So n is equal to the remainder value you are assigning. N is equal. See now, yeah, m is equal to n. This value will be taken. So next one is n is equal to r, where r is equal to m mod n. So this step will be followed repeatedly. Will be following till you get the n value will become 0. Once you become 0, the answer will be m values. So that is what the recursive statement. So stack, whatever you have learned the data structures in second semester. So stack is more important here. How it will be working, you should know that. Then only, otherwise it is difficult. So there just you said last in first out. Stack is nothing but last in first out, last in first out, last in, to understand that. So this is also based on the recursion only. Recursion. So whenever the values cannot be calculated, that values will be stored into the temporary memory allocation. So recursively you will be calling till you somewhere you will be getting the final values, then pop out, finally calculated the values. That is not the recursive statement. You should know how it will be calculated. So you might have learned factorial 4, GCD of 2 numbers, Fibonacci series. All these problems you might have solved it in your data structures. So still my suggestion is, please see once again how it will be working. So then only you will be understanding very clearly. So data structures, stack is more important rather than the queue. So based on stack only, many problems we are solving here. Just take 1 or 2 examples how it will be working. So you have to write it Fibonacci series. Fib of n is equal to fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. Take one example, Fibonacci values 8. So that 8 values, how the values will be stored into the recursively. So first one is fib of 8 is equal to fib of 7 plus fib of 6. Next, rightmost will be calculated fib of 6. That it will be calculated fib of 5, 4. Next 4 will be calculated 3, 2. Next 2 will be calculated. Then you have to come back. So how many recursive statement will be calculated? How these values will be stored into the stack? That please try to calculate once Fibonacci values. Then you will be understanding very clearly. Or you can see YouTube factorial value or Fibonacci series. You have to see the Fibonacci series. Exactly you will understand how it will be working the recursive statement. Okay, so now we'll move to the next one now. For recursive GCD of 2 numbers, Srinidhi, any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah, Aishwarya, Rashmi,
Yes, sir.
any doubt?
No, sir. We are following it.
Pavitra, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so now I'll move to the next one now. Okay, madam, thank you. And another way of solving also. Not only recursive statement, non-recursive statement also you can read. If n is equal to 0, return m, stop, otherwise go to the step number 2. And while n is not equal to 0, see here I have written. Previously not equal, it was not there. So while n is not equal to 0, r is equal to remainder values, you will be calculating m mod n. So m is equal to n is equal to r, return m. So this is what the way of calculating, way of writing the GCD of 2 numbers. So next one is these algorithms, also same thing. If n is equal to 0, return m and stop otherwise. Next, Middle school procedure, find the prime factors of m, find all the common prime factors, compute the product of all common prime factors and return it GCD of m comma n. So that is what we have written it here. So you can see here, this is what the primary school way of calculations. Primary school calculations, you will be writing the fractions for that. Once you write the common factors, you will be taken, that is multiply that, you will be getting the common GCD numbers. The whatever you are writing, your algorithms, and manually you calculate it. See, manually primary school we have learned like this, but when you come to the programming, we have written a bit differently. You have used some of the Euclid's and other values. Suppose if you want to do implementation, bit difficult here. You have to take different numbers and different way of the values you have to take. You have to find the common factors of these things. Suppose if you go for the Euclid theorem, it is easy to calculate it. So that means what? One problem, you may be having many ways to solve the problems. That is what the whatever you have learned it, middle school procedure. So this is not the way of writing. Find the prime factorization of m. The similarly you will be writing the factorial values or the factors of the n values, and find the common prime factors and compute the product of all common prime factors and return the GCD. How efficient it is. So this is what the calculations you have to write it. Now here just one algorithm I have written here. See here, primes less than or equal to the n values. So how to write the prime factor, primes for the given numbers. So for p is equal to 2 to n, do a of p is equal to p values. So find the all numbers into the store into the arrays. Now p is equal to 2 to n. So that means what? So 2 to n you have to write it. If p is, so j is equal to p into p, you have to take it, and while j is less than or equal to do, so a of j is equal to 0. One first if you take 2, so that you will be writing and it will be eliminated. Second time no need to enter the 2 values. The similarly 3, similarly 4, similarly 5, similarly 5. So like this you have to take, then you have to prime numbers, you have to prime factors, you have to write it, common numbers you have to take, then to remaining numbers you have to delete it. So that process will be taken more complex. So that is the reason Euclidean theorem will be using, and you will be calculating the Euclidean theorem. So this is nothing but the definitions of the algorithms. Algorithms is nothing but the, so any algorithms is nothing but the sequence of unambiguous instructions for solving the given problems. That is, you have some of the rules in that one. So some of the rules is nothing but what? You have to non-ambiguity requirement. You have to write the each step. So you have to write it correct way, and input to be defined first itself. Algorithm can be written more than one way. The existing several algorithms for solving the same problems. So they may exist several algorithms for the solving the same problems. So already some of the algorithms are there. You can use that one and you can solve it. So whenever you are implementing, for example, machine learning, all these things. So there also you are using some of the statistical methods. You are using and you are calculating, or you are whatever, there is the reason basic algorithms, basics. Whenever you are implementing any projects, so some of the basic algorithms is required. Existing algorithms is required, that you should know how. I want only the numbers, prime numbers I want. So to generate the prime numbers, you are uploading for your project purpose. So that is what the way of algorithm is. Nothing but what you have to write the step of one's definition. Next one is fundamentals of the first majority question, 10 marks question. So explain the fundamentals of algorithm problem solving. Algorithms, you should know that. So fundamentals of the algorithm problem solving. That means what? Suppose if someone given problems to you, how you will be solving? What are the steps you need to follow? What is the procedure to be followed to solve the particular problem? That is what you should know. This is what the
Sir,
Hello? Ravi Shankar,
Sir,
are you able to hear? What was the problem? Some technical problem, I hope.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
It got disconnected. So actually, this week, same problem you'll be facing another 2 to 3 days because I am in Dayanand Sir College of Engineering as an external examiner. So you have to bear another 2 to 3 days like this only. Okay, anyway, I'll stop today. So tomorrow we'll see next class the remaining things. So I'll tell from the beginning fundamentals of the algorithms once again. Huh? Okay, I'll stop it now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.